Hi, and welcome to the Virgin River Cafe Rewatch podcast. Good morning, Gigi.
Good morning, Tracy. How's it going?
It's pretty good. For us, it's a Sunday morning. Nice
Yes,
way
it
to
is.
spend a Sunday morning chit chatting about Virgin River.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite shows.
And we are closing in on season 6. We've got this episode
Yay!
and one more. I mean, we've been waiting for the wedding. It's so close. It's so close. So excited.
uh,
I mean, I've seen it a bunch of times, and I've seen each of the episodes several times.
right.
It's just, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
It- Well, we've waited 7 years for what, 6 years, seven
Yeah,
years,
6
whatever.
years, 6 seasons. I mean, some people would say that's really fast. That's a fast relationship, and not when it's been 6 seasons. It's like, come on, let's get, come on, get it done, get her done. So,
uh, and I'm grateful for the fact that Netflix has let it run this long because the amount of shows that have had such a limited run on Netflix,
well,
it's
they're kind of known for like 3 seasons.
well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, but even really good shows,
Yeah,
they've
5, 6, maybe.
they've nipped it in the bud. I mean, a good example is Watcher.
Mm.
It's just like a really great show, and it's not in your genre of shows, but it has a great audience. But they nipped that, and that was the end of that.
I mean,
That
it's one
part,
thing to plan things. It's like, okay, this show is going to go 10 seasons, and they plan out all 10 seasons, and then they tie
right?
everything up
Exactly.
in a bow at the end. I love that. I love how they, there are some shows that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's done well. And then there's
Yeah,
some where they find out, oh, this is we're done, and they end it, and you're like, but I wasn't done with you yet, and it's
yeah.
gone.
Well, it
Uh,
leaves the viewers in limbo, is what it's doing, which pisses the viewers off,
yeah.
and that just makes
And
doesn't make
so
for a
many so many times they try to like have a movie or have like one episode, or they
yeah,
try and do something. Now if
yeah,
they're
and that,
lucky,
yeah,
if they're lucky, then they'll say this is the final season, and they, even if it wasn't going to be, they
yeah,
find out that it is, then they
mm,
can plan accordingly and try to do their best to wrap it up maybe in a different way than was originally planned. I know there was a few shows that had more seasons planned, and for whatever reason networks felt that that wasn't going to happen, and
I guess so.
they just ended it. Now, with Virgin River, they've already filmed season 7, and they've already announced season 8. Now, they didn't say like the final season. Word on the street, and this is clearly not anything that's official and nothing. This is just people talking. The word on the street is everyone would like to see 10 seasons.
That would be nice.
They feel like 10 gives, I
It's a
mean,
good number.
it's a good number. It's a long time. It gives them a couple more years, like 8, 9, and 10, to tell more stories. Because if you look at the 22 books, they've only really touched on like the first 3, pretty
Yeah,
much. And they,
yeah.
because all the people, because every book is like a different couple or a different
Different
part of a
couple. Yeah,
different family, and we're nowhere near any of those people.
yeah.
Like they're truly focusing on book 1 and the people who maybe were brought in 2 and 3, maybe 4, but not past that. And it's a very expanded universe on the earlier books. And it's not meant
Yeah.
to follow the books, it's meant to be inspired
No,
by, so that's fine.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because
But
you and I both know the amount of things that have changed as far as characters
oh yeah.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just, but it
But
is
it
what it is.
but it is the longest running drama on Netflix. It was when it
Mm,
was season 7, and now that they announced 8, now it's even longer. So, and I don't think there's any other shows that they've only gone through, I think, 6. Most of the shows have stopped at 6 up to this point.
mhm.
I know there's a
Right.
couple that look like they're going to do pretty well. Like Bridgerton seems to be holding their own.
Yeah, the problem with Bridgerton is it's not only is it you have to remember it's costuming,
Ugh,
setting,
takes so long to
it's
make.
it all these things take long to make, and then on top of that, it's filmed in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole different story. Um, and
I
while
mean,
most of
everything's
the
on location. Mostly all
right,
the network shows are on location, but still, that's a really
right,
location.
but that show in particular has so many things attached to it. Also, the exterior of Bridgerton, a lot of those, the
The
mansions and
castles and the
what
mansions, yeah.
exactly you have to get permission
Oh,
in
yeah.
order to film in a lot of these places. So you have logistics of getting permits and whatever else thing, and this is why it takes like almost 2 years before we get an episode,
I know.
because we've been waiting for now number 4, and it's been between number 4 and number 1, it's been six
Oh,
years
wow. So it's like a year and a half, right?
It's like a year and a half you have
Yeah.
to wait before you get another
And they
episode of
also
Bridget.
do 10, right? They do 10 episodes?
Yes, they do 10 episodes.
Yeah,
So it's just like oh, it's
I know.
it's only by the love and grace of God, I would have to say, that they have held the attention span of
Well,
the adult.
okay. So it is Shonda Rhimes. So,
Yeah,
Shondaland, she knows what
yes.
she's doing. And the
Oh no.
marketing for that show has, like,
Oh yeah.
they know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
It goes without saying. I mean, this is a woman who basically took over Thursday nights on ABC. It was all Shonda,
Yeah,
all Thursday nights for a
I
long
know.
time. But the point is, this is the thing with Netflix and getting all this stuff out. So, well, we'll see how it
Well,
goes. But
every
it,
episode is like a movie. So it's a
yes, it
production.
is.
And with that show
It is.
particularly, yeah.
Yes. So we'll see how it goes.
but
Hopefully,
we're very proud of our Virgin River, that they're the longest running drama, longest running show on Netflix. And
that's right.
we know we're going to have an 8th season. And I'm going to say it again, the people that were on the show when they started season 1, and it was during the time of Walking Dead and
Hmm.
Stranger Things and all kinds of other stuff, thought
Yeah.
nobody's ever going to watch, nobody's ever going
Yeah.
to care. And they went into it with, let's just make the best show we can because we're probably only going to be here for one season. So let's just have a great time. Let's put 150% into it. And it'll be a great experience that we can look back
Right.
on. And now they're
Right.
going, yeah, we said that, and that was like 7 years ago.
Right, because I remember when the season of you weren't there for that because
I started a little later.
you started later, but I was there at the very beginning, and it the one of the things that intrigued me about it was I remember the week that it debuted. It's so clear because I saw Martin Henderson's face, and I remember him from when he did Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And I was like, isn't that cute New Zealand guy? I was intrigued. And so he was the reason that made me watch the episode. And once I watched the first episode, I was like hooked.
Yeah.
Totally hooked. It's one of those things, things catch you.
You never know. I mean, it was in the middle of the pandemic. It was like the first
And
year.
also there was
People
no
needed that. People needed this.
but not only that, there was no advertisement for this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've never
There was
really advertised much. I only just started last year.
they didn't advertise the show. It was like they threw some it I hate to say like they threw something together. It wasn't like but it felt like this was a show they just went here.
Give this a try.
If it gets caught, great. If it doesn't, well, been there, done that, we move on. And the thing about it is it caught a particular because people were tired of people getting blown up, zombies, whatever it is, too much sex and too much things. People just wanted good love stories, and great characters.
Yeah.
And
the scenery, a character on its own.
well, the scenery alone,
Yeah.
and those of us who live in California know how to greatly appreciate, that particular part of the country. But it was just it hit at a time where people were like,
People
we're done
needed
with
it then. It was needed.
yeah, we didn't want crappy TV anymore. We were done. I am not a fan of reality TV
Me
shows.
neither. I used to be,
I'm,
but not anymore. I'm over it.
no, I've never been a fan of reality shows because I don't know why. I feel embarrassed for these people
Sometimes, yeah.
who have no decorum. I'm sorry.
I
Just
know, I know. Some of them are pretty bad. Some of them are
I
pretty hysterical, though. I mean, I gotta say.
I'm
But,
sorry. I
oh,
have
no.
there's a part of me that cringes every time I see a commercial for a reality show, and I just cringe.
Yeah.
So I no need for any of these shows, and the problem was they were becoming really popular at that
Yeah,
time,
that's
and
true.
every time you turned on the television, there was another one that was popping up, and it was like I think people like myself were like, we're done,
Yeah.
get rid of this crap.
Yeah.
We want good TV. You're getting paid a fortune.
Yeah.
You're charging to watch these ridiculous commercials, and you're giving us crappy TV. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
And Virgin River was the sort of thing that was like a breath of fresh air. It was like, oh my God, great writing, great character development, a good, nice storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's some sexy parts of it, but it doesn't. It's not the main. We get to see the love story.
It's a
We
well
get
rounded show, I would have to say.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why I say it's why I love the ladies' club. You know, it's
Yeah, the sewing circle is
you
the
the
best.
sewing circle is so great, and you have characters like Hannah, who and our lovely male lady who I love to
I know,
death.
June.
Oh, June,
I mean, every
love June.
character they may have a small part here or there, but you remember them. They
Exactly.
stand out.
They,
Like it's not
they
just a
stand
background
out.
character.
Exactly. And it's just these characters. And the thing about it is, it's been a while since we've had great TV like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's just it was so nice. But anyway, we need to proceed. Sorry
Digress.
for
All
the
right. No, that's fine. No,
ladies.
no, we're getting to the end. I mean, we're not going to have a chance to talk about this soon. We're going to have to take a like a 6 month hiatus while the new episodes come out for next season.
I
So
know.
that's okay. That's all right. So before we get started, what is your caffeinated beverage today?
My caffeinated beverage today. It seems like we have a lot of fall things on sale, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fally
I know
person
you're
because
not
it usually
pumpkiny. You don't like the
I, I
pumpkin.
I'm not a pumpkiny person. One of the companies that I buy coffee from had a particular coffee mixture,
Mm-hmm.
which was with chocolate and cinnamon,
Oh.
and it was an interesting flavor. And I a friend of mine's who knew someone who worked at one of these places got a recipe from me, so I tried it out. So it's an interesting mix of chocolate and cinnamon with my coffee.
Nice.
So that was my breakfast of choice,
Oh,
breakfast of
lovely.
champions, as they say,
So
breakfast of champions.
I decided to go with. I made an one of my instant ones today. It's the new one that I got recently. It's the Nescafe Gold. It's very powdery
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that it's as good as it is. And it's just like 2 teaspoons in like a big cup of water with ice. You can make it hot
Mm-hmm.
if you want. And then I added my flavor and I have some sugar free caramel. Decided to go with a little caramel today. And it's just really yummy. I'm really pleasantly surprised. I did have a pumpkin one yesterday because the day
Of
before,
course you did.
well, they had a special. They had two for $10 any size, and I can get like the big gulp of coffee. It was like a 32 ounce. I can get two of them for $10. Why would I not participate? So
I
I've had
tell me,
pumpkin the last 2 days. So I've been very
I
excited about that.
you are embracing the fall weather.
It's a seasonal thing and it's going to be gone soon enough. So I have to, I got to participate when I can because once it's gone. Now, I did see a recipe on how to make my own pumpkin like sauce syrup that's
Mm-hmm.
very similar. And when I went to the grocery store, I did get the ingredients and I am going to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know if I'll have
So,
it done by the next time we get together, but I'm going to try. And
okay.
maybe it'll be just as good. And then if that's the case, I can have it all year round. Ooh.
All right. Bring on the pumpkin spice, people.
All right. Well, how
All right.
about let's get started?
Okay. We are in season 6, episode 9, Prelude to a Kiss.
Prelude to it. We're so close to the wedding. So this one says Jack and Mel's wedding day gets off to an emotional start. The truth comes out about Doc and Everett. Finally, jeez. Hope's temper could cause trouble for Doc. Okay, here we go. Are we ready for this? Now, when we left our friends in Virgin River, Mel and Jack received a phone call, or I should say, Mel received a phone call from Everett, and he looked like he might have been having some type of medical emergency, heart attack,
Mm,
something.
yeah.
He called her, thank God,
Mm-hmm.
and she's rushing over there, and that's how we ended that episode last time. So this one, and each episode, we literally don't lose any time. I mean, that's why the episodes from season to season and from episode to episode, it's like minutes. So the only time that lapsed between episode 8 and episode 9 is Mel's drive from her house from her cabin to Everett's cabin. That's the only time we've missed. I love how we get to experience every moment of everyone's life. I think that's why we feel so connected with all of these characters, because we literally feel like over the last 7 years, we've only lived a year and a half of their lives. And
Mm.
you really get to know someone in if you're not missing much that's going on in their
Well,
life.
well, as I said at the beginning, it's character building. So you learn to know the intimate parts of a lot of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something where we kind of flash through it. It is in depth.
Yeah.
So what it took us 7 years to get here, or 6 years, whatever it
And then
is.
and then when they skip over some time, we get upset because we're like, well, wait a second. Now we feel like we missed something, like the 4 months from like last season
Right.
to this
Yeah.
season. It's like, what did we miss? But it's like
You
we
know,
can't
and
have it
and
both
that
ways, people. We can't.
I, and I think that's the biggest gap we've had, because we've had where 2 weeks may have passed or 3 weeks may have
Right,
passed, but
right.
it's never been like 4 months.
Yeah, that's the
So
most. And this
that's
next
the most.
season, it's literally going to be a few hours. So
So yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Mhm.
All right. So Mel and Jack, they are arriving. They're banging on the door, trying to get in, and Jack barrels through the door because, of course, he's not gonna let a door get in his way.
Well, also, I don't think the door was locked. I think.
It might have been. He tried. He was. They were banging on it, and I'm sure
Oh,
he didn't think that. Not like people lock their doors, and he's in the middle of nowhere. But regardless, they got in, and they find him on the floor, and she's like, oh my god, Everett, wake up! And she's checking him. Thank God she's a nurse. He's out, and she's like, Dad, which is she's never called him Dad before. That's. I mean, I think the emotion just came out, like she's already seen 2 parents die. There's no
right.
way she's going to stand for a third one. Like, no.
Yeah.
So she's like, there's no pulse. I'm starting CPR. And he's like, okay, I can help. And I'm sure that they called an ambulance or called whatever they needed to call. So she's doing the breaths. He's pumping the chest. I mean, it's crazy. They're doing the best they can. And they must have called Doc on the way. Doc shows up with his doctor bag, and he's like, how's he doing? Now, even though they don't like each other, he's a doctor first. Patients always come first. So Doc is going to be there. Between the 3 of them, I mean, that's like a nurse practitioner, a doctor, and Jack. I mean, the guy's got a good chance of making it through. So, fortunately, Doc brought his portable, what do they call that? Defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
Yeah, he brought the portable defibrillator, and thank goodness, because that's probably what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so Doc's like, let's get his shirt up, and Jack's helping, and Doc's putting the things on his chest, and the rhythm checking. It analyzes. It's getting ready to be charged. And then, they do the clear, and then Doc puts it on it, and it shocks. Mel's checking the pulse. She's like, it didn't work. And she goes back, and he's charging to 200. They do some more breaths, some more pumping. He does it again, checking for a pulse. Mel's like, he has a pulse. It's faint. So now Mel's just like laying right next to him, holding his head, just like taking a deep breath as she's like terrified that this poor man is going to die. Now, because they're so far out, they had to get a helicopter.
Yeah, right. And as you said, she's terrified of losing. She just found him, and to lose him, that's hard for her.
Yeah, she's already lost 2 parents. She doesn't want to. I mean, most people don't even have more than 2. And she's technically got 2 more dads in this deal. She's got Everett and Doc that she sees as a father. So It's like she just can't lose anybody else. She's lost so many people in her life. And that's always been, I think, her greatest fear. That's why she never wanted to get close to anybody, because she keeps losing them. Everybody around her seems to die. All her babies, her parents, her husband. It's like, but finally, she's in a place where she's accepting people, but then something like this happens. So the helicopter comes because that's the fastest way to get him to the hospital. And it's still middle of the night. So fortunately, they get there pretty quick, and they get him to the helicopter. And I guess he's somewhat stable. And we've got several paramedics. And the guy who's from the helicopter says, we only have room for 1 person to travel alongside the patient. And they kind of all look at Mel. And Doc's like, you go. And she's like, okay. And so Jack comes up to her, and he holds her face, and he's like, I love you. Gives her a nice big kiss. And she's like, I love you too. And he's like, he's going to be okay. Poor thing. She's like in tears. And Doc's like, we'll get there as fast as we can, because Jack and Doc are going to follow along. They'll obviously take a little longer to get there, but at least he'll get there fast and she'll be with him. So she gets in the helicopter. They close it up, and the pilot's like ready for takeoff. Just the scared look on her face.
Yeah, she's terrified that she's gonna lose him, and that's.
But at least she's there. If he does die, at least she's there. She won't miss another minute, but obviously not what she wants to happen. The scenery shot is the helicopter flying over the river toward the mountains to Grace Valley, because
and it's so cool. It's
a beautiful. The sun is just starting to come up. It's a beautiful shot.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this one. It was a beautiful shot. They're at the hospital. It's now later. It's morning, I'm assuming. And she's just standing outside waiting. And that's when Doc comes with Hope in his truck, and Jack comes in Mel's car. So they must have driven overnight. I don't know, however long it took to get there. And they're all like, hey, and they're like, are you okay? And she kind of shrugs her shoulders like, I don't know. Is anybody really okay in these kind of situations? Like, it doesn't even deserve an answer. Like, of course she's not okay, but she's like, yeah, I'm all right. I mean, as good as she can be. And she's like, thank you for coming. And they're like, of course. And she's like, well, how is he? And she's like, it was a heart attack. And so they're putting in a stent, which, okay, that's good. That means that they could do something. The heart attack didn't kill him. There is something that they can do, and they're going to do it. So that's good. And Doc's like, well, don't forget, Hope pulled through her heart attack just fine. And she's healthier than ever now. Good prognosis that you can come through a heart attack. And Hope's like, yeah, thanks to that awful diet and exercise plan you made for me. Because she's never going to let them forget that. How Mel, when Mel showed up at the house and threw away all of her food and made her stop doing all kinds of things that she wanted to do. She was not happy.
Try to get rid of her Velveeta. That was not a good
right? But you know what? She's so much better now. So it was worth it. And Hope's like, I'm so sorry this is happening on your wedding day. So it is the morning of their wedding. Like, oh, geez. And she's like, well, we'll figure everything out once Everett's in the clear. Jack's like, it might not be today, but I'm going to marry you come hell or high water. She's like, yeah, well, with the year we've had, we might have to be prepared for both. He's like, oh, come on. So they're like, okay, why don't we go get something for breakfast? And worrying on an empty stomach can give you an ulcer. She goes, bacon grease goes a long way. And then she looks at Doc and when he gives her a look like bacon grease.
Hmm.
She's like, or I could find something on my diet plan. Because we don't need another heart attack today. Mel's like,
No,
no.
we don't.
So they're like, yeah, well, we're not on a diet, so we're going to go get something to eat too. And so the everybody's like, bacon sounds good, right? And they're like, yeah. Hope and Jack are going to go get some food, and Doc and Mel are going to have a little sit down. So there's a little bench outside, and they're just going to sit there and have a little chat. And she's like, thank you for your help. I mean, she knows how he feels about Everett, and he put that all aside and basically helped save his life. She will be forever grateful. And he's like, yeah, I was just doing my job. It's like, true. So she's like, now he's doing his, fighting for his life. She's like, yeah, I hope so. And he's like, I know so. She's like, how do you know? Now, Doc just found out the real reason for all their problems. And even though they worked it all out, still, nobody really knows the situation. So maybe this is a good time for him to do a little sharing. He's like, that rift between me and your father started when I rushed to save his life from a bad car accident. And all these years, I thought, oh, he was just out on a drunken joyride, but he was not. Now, Mel is like intrigued because no one, I mean, how many times has she tried to ask both Everett and Doc to tell her what's going on?
A zillion times.
And it's like everyone says it's between them and they all have, a story, but it's like no one will share. And she wants them to understand, but they won't tell her anything. So it's like, how do you expect her to support you and understand you if you won't tell her anything? So he's like, when we talked, he told me that he was devastated by losing your mother and the chance to get to know you. And he felt like he had nothing to live for. And she's hearing this for the first time. Like, this is devastating to her. So he made no plans to come home that night. And she's like, I mean, the realization that he was basically trying to commit suicide just hit her. And she's just like, oh my God. She goes, but he's like, but he is not that man anymore, Mel. I mean, she's just devastated that was his mindset. Everyone knew how much he was in love with her mother.
Right, exactly.
And they knew that it affected him. But I don't think until Doc found out that that's what happened, how much that affected him. And so Doc's like, and I can see having you back in his life has changed him. For the first time in a long time, Everett Reed has something to live for and someone to fight for. And so she's kind of chuckling a little bit. And Doc's like, and he will. She's like, I hope so. And he gives her a big hug. He's like, oh, don't worry, he will. Wow.
Yeah.
The tears. Hope and Jack are at the coffee machine inside the hospital. And, oh, the coffee machine is not... the look on Hope's face is hilarious. Because it's like sputtering and spitting, and it just does not look... I mean, Jack's got his coffee. His must have worked fine, but Hope's not having the same kind of luck. And they both look at it like, I'm not sure you should drink that. And she's like shaking her head like, no. She goes, damn robot barista. I hate these machines. And she kicks it. He just laughs at her. He goes, well, it's not so bad. It's not like you can kick a real barista every time he messes up your order. She's like, not again, I can't. And Jack's like, hey, I just wanted to say that I am so sorry about the wedding too. He's like, I know you put your heart and your soul into making today special, so thank you. She's like, don't apologize. It will happen when it's meant to. Now, Charlie may complain if it's not today. He was very excited for his flyover. He goes, you were doing a flyover? And she's like, we were. And Jack's like, Hope McCrae. She goes, well, I just wanted to give you two the fanfare you deserve. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Jack's like, right. She's like, you've come so far from the guy I first met, Jack. And he's looking at her like, really? Have I? She goes, that brooding vet with a dream and a drinking problem. Oh, and he kind of looks back. He's like, kind of chuckles like, yeah. She goes, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have helped you open a bar. But then again, they didn't know he had a drinking problem. I mean, obviously, you don't want someone with a drinking problem owning a bar, but whatever.
Well, he didn't think he had a drinking problem, so how would he know?
Exactly. So they chuckle about that a little bit. And he's like, well, you know what? If you hadn't, I never would have met Mel. So I am very, very glad that you did. And just then, Doc walks in and he goes, "He's out. He's okay." So that means that the stent was able to be put in and he's been stabilized. So thank goodness. And so Hope's like, "Oh, thank heavens." And Doc's like, "Yeah, okay." So thank goodness. Smiles all around. God, some more beautiful shots. They did a lot of different shots this season. A lot of higher elevation, more mountains, really beautiful. So now we're at Bree's house, and looks like the mom and dad, we have Sam and Amelia, are sitting down having some bagels and juice, and Mike is helping prepare breakfast, and down from the steps upstairs comes Bree. And the two of them, because remember in the previous evening, they got caught. Mm-hmm. They got caught in a very
That's right.
compromising position by
Hmm.
Mike.
Mom and Dad were getting jiggy with it.
Yeah, and the dad's like, "It's a very comfortable bed, don't you think so?" And Bree hears this conversation, and she's like, "All right." Jack says that Everett's all right. He's not sure about the wedding yet, but they're going to keep us posted. And Sam's like, "Well, let's just keep our fingers crossed." He's like, "Okay, good news is," and they're like, "Oh, okay, good news." And Mike's like, "Orange juice or coffee?" And Bree is like, both. Champagne in the former, Bailey's in the latter. Because apparently she's been having a day and it just started. Mike's like, "Got it." And Sam is like, "Slow down. We can't have a repeat of Mary's wedding, dear." Oh, the mom said that. So the mom says, "Slow down. We can't have a repeat of Mary's wedding, dear." And Bree's like, that was Donna." She goes, "Oh, yes. Well, how lucky I am that I have more than one daughter for all of that." And Mike is like, "Well, I'm excited to meet Mary and Donna, whether the wedding happens or not," as he hands Bree a cup of coffee. And Bree is like, "Yeah, and I'm excited to hear what they think about you two back together." And the parents' kind of faces both fall and they kind of look at each other like, and they're like, "Well, we haven't exactly talked about that yet." And the dad's like, "We're taking it slow." And the mom's like, "Mm-hmm." And Bree's like, "Yeah, it didn't seem like that last night." Like, no, it didn't. Mike's like, "Nope, no, it did not. It did not seem like that was slow." So Amelia clears her throat, and Bree's like, "Okay, what happened here? Like, what about Javi?" And Amelia's like, "He knows we're giving this a try. He's supportive. We ended amicably." And she's like, "But why? Because I thought you two said you weren't good for each other." And they both look at each other, and he goes, "Well, we have things to work on, but I'm making efforts for your mother." And she's like, "And I've realized no one is perfect, except for Mike here." As they laugh, he goes, "Oh, yes, you're setting me up for failure, Amelia." And Bree's looking at the two of them, and the mother's like, "But seriously, your father is my soulmate.
Oh, Lord.
Always has been. We may not be perfect on paper, but our hearts are connected in ways that, well, I can't begin to explain." As she's getting a
Mm,
little teary and a little sentimental. It's kind of
yeah,
sweet.
and you see the look on Bree's face.
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
She's like, "And since he's doing his best to be a better man for me," she's like, "I feel I owe him a fighting chance. So I'm staying open to the possibility." Bree is looking a little melancholy because she's got a dirty deed under her belt there.
Yeah, it's called Brady.
Oh, yeah. So she's just kind of looking at the two of them like, oh my. So Mel finally is able to go in and see Everett. She goes into his hospital room and very quietly and shuts the door. And he's sort of a little bit awake and he sees her. She sits down next to him and he's like, "Well," she sits right on the bed. And he goes, "Hey, Dad." And he just kind of smiles and he goes, "Dad?" Like, wow, that's a first because she's never called him that before. He goes, "Never thought anyone would call me Dad." He's like, "But I guess if anyone would, it would be you." He goes, "Because I am your dad." And they both kind
Mm.
of chuckle. She's
A
like, "You're
father daughter,
what? What?
a father daughter moment.
Oh, yeah." And she's like, "Oh, you're just still a little loopy from the anesthesia." He's like, "Well, that explains a few things." He's like, I saw your mother." And she just straightens up right there. He's like, when I was out, I mean, he's like, I guess it could have been the drugs or could have been a dream. He's like, I've had lots of dreams about your mother, which is really sweet. And of course, she's happy to hear that because I'm sure she remembers her mother a lot too, but in, obviously a different way. He's like, this was different. He's like, it was her. I told her I wanted to stay with her. And Mel's just starting to cry. But she said, no, there's no way that my little girl is going to lose her father on her wedding day. And Mel's just crying. So sad.
Oh,
Aww.
very sweet but sad.
I know. It was and she's like, I think we're going to postpone the wedding. And he takes a deep breath. And he's like, so I came back from the dead for nothing? And they both start laughing. She goes, that's not funny. He's like, no, Mel. He's like, you can't postpone. Not on my account. Listen, the wedding isn't about me or your friends or this town. It's about you and Jack. Always has been. Nothing's more important than that. Whether I'm there in person or not, it doesn't matter. I'll be right by your side. And she's just sniffling, and she goes, and so will your mother. Just like she's been this whole time. Right? And she's like, she kind of shakes her head. She's like, yeah. Oh, my. So Jack's in the hallway. He's waiting for Mel. And she's like, sorry. We have Hope and Doc are also waiting. Everybody's just waiting to make sure everything's okay. Because nobody's gotten in to see him except for her. And she's like, so the wedding's back on. And everybody's very excited. And Jack's like, okay, but what about Everett? And Mel's like, he insisted. This is what he wants. He's okay, so what about what you want? I know how much it meant to you to have him there. And she kind of looks at him. She goes, I know it does, but I don't want to wait another minute to marry you. Like, he goes, well, Hope's like, you have to wait another 473 as she looks at her watch. But who's counting? Doc pipes in. They have some time. So Hope's like, okay, you go home and get ready. And Hope says to Jack, and you don't forget, Roland is coming to pick up sugar. Oh, I'm so glad they figured that out. Remember, Roland said he needed a couple of
Yeah,
days? Talk about waiting till the last minute.
so typical. So typical.
I know, right? Okay, so Jack's like, okay. And then she turns around to Doc like she's giving orders to everybody. She turns around to Doc. She goes, and you, kiss me already. So he does. Two of them are goofy. So she yells to Mel and Jack. She's like, see you guys. See you both at the barn. All right. So she's going to get her phone. And she's calling probably the phone tree. And she's like, Lizzie? She goes, hey. She goes, we're going to the chapel and we're going to get married. And Doc's looking at her. He goes, I repeat, we are going to the chapel and we're going to get married. Now, everyone is waiting to find out if this wedding is happening. So they're all at the barn because it's early in the morning, and these are things that they should be doing if the wedding was happening. So everyone is sort of on standby. It's like, are we having a wedding? Are we not having a wedding? And Lizzie's there in the barn with all the townsfolk and all the helpers, and she's getting the phone call. And she gets off the phone. She's shaking her head, and she's like, copy that. And she's like, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the Chapel of Love. The wedding is on. And so everyone cheers. Cheering and clapping. Everyone's excited. And Hope's like, put me on speakerphone. So she does. And she goes, hey, folks, I'll be there to handle the big stuff. But while I'm on the road, they're all listening. I officially transfer the matrimonial power vested in me by the state of California and the voters of Virgin River to you. Can you handle it? Yes, Mayor, you can count on us, from Nick. It's like, okay, I'll see you in a bit.
You gotta love this town.
I know. They just all come together. Now, while Doc and Hope are getting ready to leave because they've got a wedding to get to, Doc spies that head of the
Pampas.
Yeah, the head of the hospital, the guy who's trying to mess up his life and is threatening his medical career. He sees him. And Hope is like, is that Dr. Hayes? And Doc's like, yeah, in the flesh. She goes, you should give that man a piece of your mind, Vernon. And he goes, oh, no, he already knows how I feel. And she goes, still. And this lady comes up. She's a nurse. And she's like, Dr. Mullins? And she's like, yes. She goes, Mr. Reed is asking for you. So Hope is like, saved by Everett Reed. He goes, who would have thought? True. So they give a kiss goodbye, and he goes, I'll wait for you here. So Doc's going to go see what Everett needs, which we all have a feeling we know what that's about. And that doctor spots Doc as he walks by, kind of giving him the stink eye as he goes into Everett's room. Now Hope, God love her, she's not going to let that stand. So what trouble is she going to get into? We will just have to see. So back at the barn, Lizzie's in charge right now, and she's like, Joellen, alert the phone tree, because now they got to get everybody involved. She goes, everyone dropping off food down at the barn can start to load in. Nick, keep feeding that smoker. He's like, you got it. Hannah, bar set up, deck left. She shakes her head, yes. Aunt Connie, secure a spot for the bakery truck to park for the dessert bar. Nice, of course. Connie's off to do that. She goes, and Liddy, confirm that the tablescapes are ready and the name cards are placed appropriately. She gives a nod. Denny, you and I will supervise band loading and site setup. It's like a well-oiled machine. And then
I expect nothing less from Hope.
Exactly.
Just so.
I know. She's ready. He goes, and then we will decorate the just married car. And Denny comes up to her. He goes, you know? Oh, Denny's like, you run a tight ship. That little girl's in for a world of trouble. And Lizzie's like, not if she listens, she's not. So everybody's there to help. All right, so we are in the hospital, and Everett is talking to Doc. Now, Doc's looking over his medical chart just to see, what's going on, checking his vitals, seeing what information is there. And Everett looks like he's trying to open up a Jell-O or something, and Doc's like, hey, let me help you with that. He grabs it from him, and he goes, thanks, man. He goes, yeah, this hospital Jell-O is sealed like a fortress, isn't it? And Everett's laughing. He goes, yeah, the pudding is damn near impossible. And Doc can't get it open either, and so he grabs one of the silverwares, and he goes, here, this is the way. He takes a knife, and he stabs it like 5 times, and he cuts it open. It's like ridiculous. And Everett's just laughing at him. And he's like, now, the nurse said that there was something you wanted to talk to me about. And because Doc's asking Everett, and Everett looks at him, and he's like, well, I was hoping you could do me a favor. Would you walk Mel down the aisle for me? Oh. We were hoping it would work out this way.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame it had to come to this.
Yeah, but it's like we had to take the long way around, but I'm glad we ended up here. That's all I'm going to say. I get why she wanted him to do it. He missed so much, and to make him a part of blah, blah, blah. But,
yeah.
But Doc walking her down the aisle just feels right. It feels more appropriate. And not that I don't think Everett should be a part of the wedding, but I don't feel like he should have been the one to walk her down.
Right. I just feel like it's a complete circle with Doc being the one to walk her.
It's the way that it was intended initially, and I'm glad that we were able to get back to it. Thank goodness. He's like, I know that you were planning to do it before. And Doc puts his hand on his shoulder, and he goes, it would be my honor. And Everett's like, thank you. He goes, and would you give her something for me? He goes, I finished the song she wanted me to sing at the wedding. And, well, I'd like her to have the lyrics as a wedding present. They're in a notebook back at my house. And Doc's like, He's thinking. And he's like, yeah, tell you what. I'd be glad to help you on one condition. And Everett looks up at him like, oh, no. So we don't know. Now, while Hope is waiting for Doc while he's talking to Everett, this Dr. Hayes guy walks by. Oh, no. Hope, just sit in your seat and be quiet. Why?
Because she can't help it.
I know.
She cannot help herself.
She's a meddler. She can't help to meddle.
It just takes me back to season 1 where she got into the whole thing with Charmaine and the letter and
yeah, she can't help herself. I mean, and the thing is, she's always doing it because she's trying to help the people she loves, but it always winds up backfiring. So she sees this guy and she's like, excuse me, Dr. Hayes. And he stops and he's like, yeah, can I help you? She's like, Hope McCrae, Vernon Mullen's wife and the mayor of Virgin River. And his smile just kind of gets wiped off his face a little bit. He's like, I know you're coming after Vernon's medical license. and I've got a bone to pick with you about that. And he just gives this like curt smile. And he's like, and his wife, as his wife or the mayor? And she's like, both. She's like, look, you need to understand that my husband's medical practice is the cornerstone of our town. Sure, Vernon's methods can be unorthodox, and his moods are frequently unpleasant, but practically everyone in Virgin River owes my husband their lives in one way or another. Don't punish him for the ability to think outside the box. He saved a life while training a college student in the process. He's,
Oh Lord, that
yeah,
don't sound good.
I know. And he's like, you mean a medical student? In a couple years, yes. He goes, I'm sorry. Are you telling me that Dr. Mullen's intern is an undergraduate college student? She goes, I think you're missing my point. He goes, no, I think I got your point loud and clear. I knew your husband had been foolish, but now I know he could have been downright negligent. She's like, oh. So now she knows she's screwed up. Oh, Hope. She tends to make things worse. It's terrible. So we are back at the bakery truck, and they're getting it ready to set up for the wedding. Probably going to be moving it to the right location. Lark is walking up to the bakery truck, and Bree is already there. Now, these are two women that probably should not be interacting.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Lark is like, Bree, hey, how are you? And Bree's like, yeah, hi, I'm good. How are you? And she's like, fine. Bree's like, I don't know. I guess I just figured the breakup might have been hard, considering how much was on the line for you. And Lark is like, did Brady talk to you about it? About conning him, she says. She goes, I actually told him. She goes, yeah, because I saw you at the prison with Jimmy. And then, it didn't take Brady long to put the pieces together. And Lark is looking scared now. Bree's like, you shouldn't have underestimated him. And Lark's like, I don't think I'm the one who underestimated him. And Bree looking at her like, I don't know who you think you are, Lark. But now that you're not with Brady, I don't have to pretend to like you. So, thank you so much.
Ooh.
Yep. And she just grabs her coffee and walks away. So now Lark's pissed. Like, she really doesn't have anything to be pissed about, but whatever, she's pissed. Because she got told. Now, they are they broken up? Are they thinking about it? It's like, it's not clear.
I think Brady's giving her another chance.
Ugh, why? Why would he do
Because
that?
I
know.
Before, because he had been given so many chances when he messed up. So he's giving her the benefit of the doubt. While you and I may disagree with this,
Yeah.
God forbid I'm being the voice of reason here.
I know.
But I think that's where Brady's coming from, because he has messed up so badly.
Yeah.
And the one person that always believed in him was Jack.
Yeah.
Out of everybody else was always Jack. So he is giving her the benefit of the doubt. But as you and I know, things that, it may come back to bite him.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up. I mean, I think Bree just assumed that when that happened, that's it, they're broken up.
Right. Not exactly.
So I think she assumed a bit much.
They know what they say about assumptions.
Yep. So now we're back at the clinic, and Muriel is working. She's just humming along, probably wrapping things up for the day, because obviously the clinic will be closed for the wedding. It is a Sunday, so unless there's an emergency, they won't be open. And the door opens, and it's Cameron. And she looks up and is surprised to see that it is Cameron. He's like, Dr. Hayek, what brings you to the clinic this morning? And he's like, well, you said you were getting the results from your biopsy, so... He's like, yeah. My tumor is HER2 positive. He goes, okay, that means they're going to do chemo first, right, before surgery. See if they can try and shrink the tumor. She's like, yeah. And then they'll decide if I'm to have a lumpectomy or a full mastectomy. She takes a deep breath and, like I'm playing this game of Sophie's chest. And he starts laughing. She starts laughing. They kind of both groan. At least she can laugh about it. He goes, "You're still funny." She goes, "Yeah, well, you just wait until I start wearing a clown wig." He goes, "Hey, no, no, no. Hair loss is not a given these days."
So true.
And she's like, "Well, either way, I'm not going to have the carefree spring I was expecting." He goes, "Hey, you know what? It might not be that bad. Everybody reacts differently to chemo." She's
Also
like, "Yeah."
true.
She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." So she sits at the end of her desk right in front of him, and he goes, "And how do people you've just started dating react to it?" Because remember, she started dating Walt.
Yep.
And Cameron's like, "You're dating someone." And she shakes her head. Yes. She goes, "Walt Booth." He goes, I mean, our relationship is so new. It's, I don't even know if I can call it that. She goes, "But I do know I really like him, and I just don't want to scare him away." She goes, "The last guy I was dating, he just left because I didn't want to have kids." And then they start laughing. And he laughs, and he's like, "Okay, okay." And they both kind of chuckle. And he's like, "You said you understood." He goes, "Oh, I know I did, and I meant it." She's like, "Doesn't mean it didn't hurt." So she gets up off her desk, and she's like, "You can understand something and still have it break your heart." Which that's the realization that he just came to. Because he thought when she
Uh-huh.
said, fine, because I mean, she's in her mid to late 50s, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And obviously, she didn't want to have any kids. And he was okay with it, but he thought that she was okay with it. It's like she may have been okay with it, but that doesn't mean that it still wasn't
Painful.
painful. Exactly. And like she said very clearly, you can understand something and still have it break your heart. So that's well said. All right, so we're back at the cabin, and Mel and Jack finally arrive. Deep breaths. He's like, "I know we weren't supposed to see each other on our wedding day, but." She just kind of smiles. He's like, "I'm really glad I was with you." He's like, "Yeah, me too." She's like, "I do not think I could have handled it this morning if you weren't there." And right behind them is Bree with coffee. She goes, "The thought of losing my dad when I just found him was really scary." He's like, "I know." He goes, "Hey, I'm serious. If you don't want to do this today." And she's like, "No, no, no, I do. I just, And Bree is like, "Hey, let's go. We got to get this woman into hair and makeup." Like she's speaking in them. Like, dudes.
This takes time.
Yeah, she's
Got a
got
mama
her dress
jumper.
and everything. Oh my gosh. She's funny. I mean, she's just like, "Hey, come on, you two." Like, she is serious. There is no funny business. And Jack's like, "Okay, okay."
That's a lawyer for you. You got places to go, things to do. Chop, chop, chop.
Right? And yeah, Mel's like, "She could have been a Marine captain too." And Jack's like, "Oh, yeah, no doubt." And he's like, "Okay, cadet, hop to it." So off they go. She goes, "Unless you want to finish that thought." And she's like, I don't even know what I was going to say." She goes, I love you, and that's all that matters." He goes, "Well, I'll see you at the altar." He's like, "You will." So he's deep in thought, like she was going to say something, and I don't know if she's ready to let whatever she's going to say go. So it looks like the girls are already there. We've already got Kaya, who's now been brought into the group, which is great, and Joey.
Red's nice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we've got the four of them, Bree and Joey and Kaya, and that's why she needed 4 coffees. So Bree's passing out the coffee. This is you, this is mine, this is yours. And Mel walks in, and they're all like, "Hi, hi." Bree gives her a coffee, and she's like, "Oh, thank you." She goes, and Kaya's like, "I'm so glad that Everett's okay." Mel's like, "Yeah, I know." She goes, "We were so worried, but now there's nothing to worry about." Okay, what's going on? They're all nervous, and Mel's suspecting that something is not okay, and who's going to spill the beans? She's looking around. She's like, "Where's Charmaine?" Because remember, Charmaine is in charge of hair and makeup. And Bree looks at Joey, and Joey's like, "I called her, and she didn't answer." Mel takes a deep breath, and she's like, "Okay, well, maybe I missed a text from her or something. And so she pulls her phone out. She looks at it. So she did send her a text message. She says, something came up that I had to deal with. That's it. And they're all like, Joey's like, could it be the twins? And Bree's like, or maybe she's having second thoughts about seeing Jack get married?
Nah.
No. And Kaya's like, either way, we don't have anyone to do your hair. And Mel's like, she goes, yet. Because you have to follow that up. And Joey's like, yeah, but we're going to find someone. And everybody's like, yes, we are. So we're at the hospital, and Doc and Hope are getting ready to leave. And Doc is like, Hope. Oh, Hope. And she's like, I was trying to help. Like, why? Every time she tries to help, she screws things up.
You know we love Hope. But she is her, as I said once, I'm going to say it again. She is her own worst enemy.
I know.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Her own worst enemy.
And he's like, but you didn't help. What you did is the opposite of help.
Oh, God.
He's kind of yelling at her. She goes, yes, but I didn't know that's what I was doing at the time. She never does.
Oh, God.
He goes, well, you should have known better. Oh, he's pissed.
She doesn't know better. That's the problem.
She's like,
Hope.
why would I know better? Solving your problems behind your back usually works out fine for you. Oh my gosh. He goes, yeah, well, this time it may cost me everything. And Hope kind of laughs. She goes, well, not everything. And he looks at her like, what are you talking about? She goes, I'm not laughing at this. Because she's trying to, make a joke. And he just wiped that smile right off her face. She goes, this is my legacy. 30 years of hard work. And I may lose it all because you don't know when to quit. Oh, now she's offended. Now she's very offended. He goes, you're just too much. And he kind of walks away. And she's like, you have 2 seconds to take that back, Vernon Mullins. And he turns around. And she's like, 1. And he yells, 2. Uh-oh. Goodness. So
just what we need. 2 of them to get into a fight just before the wedding.
We finally solved all the other problems, and now it's the 2 of them. So we've got Preacher and Jack, and they're walking with Sugar. Preacher's like, that's a beautiful animal, Jack. And it's Mike also, and they're like, yeah, Mike's like, it really is. And the guys are like, are you sure you want to get rid of him? And Jack's like, oh, come on, I'm not getting rid of him. He goes, I'm finding him a new home with someone who knows how to take care of horses. And he's like, honestly, it's the best thing for him. Because the 3 of them are just walking on a country road with Sugar. Just the 3 guys having a moment. The guy's wedding day, just bros. And he's like, I'm sure going to miss him, though. And Jack's like, what do you say, boy, huh? Because he really likes Sugar. He goes, how about we go for one more ride? Help clear our heads a bit, Calm our nerves. And the guys are like, I don't think you riding a horse on your wedding day is the best decision there, Jack. And Jack's like, thankfully, it's not your decision to make. And he mounts the horse, and he goes, you have plausible deniability.
If anything happens to him,
right?
Mel's going to kill both of them.
I know. And Mike is holding up his hands like, Jack, I'm pretty sure that's not how plausible deniability works. And they're trying to stop him. And he's giving him the side eye, and he turns the horse around, and he's just going to ride off. And he's like, see you in a few. And the guys are like, oh, man. He goes, okay, if anything happens to him, Mel's going to kill us. And Preacher's like, well, if you can stop him, be my guest. And off Jack rides. Now, Mel is in her cabin. She's looking out the window. She's got a beautiful, robe on. She's, kind of getting dressed and ready for the wedding. But she kind of is sort of spacing out a little bit, deep in thought. All the girls are dressed. They have, greenish dresses on. And Bree's like, I promise we're going to figure this out. And Mel's like, what? And Bree's like, your hair. And So Bree is talking to Joellen. She's texting with her. She goes, yeah, Joellen, she's just working on some options. So she goes, it's going to be, she goes, and then Mel's like, wait a second. Why don't we just have Joey do it? Joey? She goes, you did my hair for prom and I won prom queen that night. And Joey's like, no, you did not. And she goes, well, I felt like a prom queen. And all thanks to you. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And she's like, really? She goes, okay. She goes, come on, will you do me the honor of doing my hair, please? And Joey's like, I will. There's a knock at the door, and they're like, oh. And they're like, please let that be Charmaine. Please, 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 please. As they all go to the door, he goes, oh, hi, ladies. And there's a guy in a suit with a camera and a microphone in their faces. And they're like, hi, not Charmaine. And they're like, you're Paul, right? The Christmas elf from Santa's village. Oh, okay. Yeah, now we recognize him. Jack's friend. He goes, yeah. And he goes, what are you doing here? Mel is very curious and wondering. And he's like, well, as a typical millennial gig worker, Hope hired me to be your wedding videographer. And all the ladies are kind of standing around looking at each other. And they're like, oh, he goes, I'm here to document your big day. And Mel's like, oh, okay, well, I would love for you to film the wedding, but I don't know that I need video of me getting ready. And Paul's like, yeah, but it's all part of the package. When I edit it together, you're going to be glad you have it. I promise. And Mel's like, very skeptical look on her face.
They all have skeptical looks on their face.
Oh, yeah. He goes, you won't even notice I'm here.
Yes,
It's
you will.
a one-room cabin. Trust me, they'll notice. So Mel reluctantly, she's like, okay, all right, come on in. Fine. And so, of course, he's starting off right away. He's like, actually, if you could open the door again and then non-verbally invite me in. And Mel looks at him. They all look at him like, what? He goes, it would make for a really cool entrance shot. And Mel's like, oh, no, I absolutely can't do that. I'm sorry. And she turns around and walks in. And he's like, okay, fair. So he's just going to have to do whatever he has to do. Now, Jack is just riding in the wind. Very cool. Riding Sugar through the field. One last ride, knowing that he's going to have to give her up. Look at him riding a horse.
And looking so handsome doing it.
He is looking good. So he has now ridden to the property where his house is in his barn. They've got the bakery truck set up at the beginning of the driveway, the entrance to the property. And they've got tents set up and some tables and warmers. It looks like they're just getting things underway as he rides in. And Roland, who's there to get Sugar, is there with the truck. And he's like, yes, you must be the devil incarnate. Because that's what Hope called him. They shake hands. He goes, I see my reputation precedes me. And he's like, you look mighty at home up there. He goes, it's all Sugar. He makes it easy. And Roland's like, well, if he'll let you ride him like that, he's going to make a great little show pony. And Jack looks at him like, what do you mean show pony? And Roland says, well, we host birthday parties out at the ranch. Kids take turns riding the horses around the paddock. It's cute. And Jack's looking a little nervous. He goes, yeah, well, Hope and I just nursed this horse back to health. I thought he was getting a real second chance. And Roland's like, well, there are worse fates for an old horse. Now Jack is looking very really reluctant. And he's like, yeah, I suppose there are. Like, does he really? He goes, I suppose there's better ones too. And he kind of looks at Roland like, are you serious? You're just going to make this horse sit around walking for birthday parties?
Basically, he's working the horse.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to be like a true retirement. So we're back at the cabin, and Joey is fixing Mel's hair, and she goes, Bree's like, oh my God, Mel. And Kaya's like, you look stunning. So Joey did a great job. Her makeup and everything. She's like, nice job. Use thank you. I've still got it. So she didn't forget her talents. And Joey's like, you look like Mom. And Mel's like, oh. She goes, that's the best compliment ever. Thank you, honey. She goes, you know, I actually have something for you. She goes, yeah? She goes, something old. So she says, hold on. And she goes to get it. She pulls out this little bag. And she's like, they're Dad's cufflinks. I thought maybe you could wrap them around your bouquet, because she has them on a ribbon. She goes, Mom got them for Dad when he got his first job in L.A. They are moonstone, which help to embrace new beginnings. Oh, they have some beautiful sentimental music in the background. And she's like, honey, I know Everett was supposed to be here to keep Mom close. She's like, but maybe these will work. And keep our dad close too. And Mel's
Very
like,
touching sister moment.
aww. And Mel's like, I love that idea. Thank you. Thank you. Gives a big hug. She goes, I love you. I love you too. And Kaya and Bree are over there tearing up. They're like, oh. So, and then Joey's like, come here. And so the other two, because they want to hug. It's like a love fest. It's like they're all going to hug. And Joey's like, you are beautiful. They're all like, oh. So we're at the wedding venue, and the tables are being set up where the wedding is happening, with the chairs is set up. There's a lemonade stand. Hannah's there helping Lizzie. And Lizzie's like, I can do it. I got time. And she's like, okay, all right. Setting everything up. And so Liddy, she had been watching Joey's kids. So she shows up with the kids, and she's like, look who I found. She goes, Joey's sitter just dropped them off with me. She goes, hey, Lizzie, are you little ones ready for your big jobs? And so they explain the flower girl goes first, right? That's Morgan. She's the oldest. She goes, before the ring bearers? And Lizzie shakes her head yes. She goes, oh, Liddy's like, they're very excited. They told me that this is their first wedding. She goes, well, Lizzie says, believe it or not, it's my first wedding too. And they all, you're not married? And she's like, no, I'm not. And one of the kids is like, that's weird. How did you get pregnant if you're not married? The youngest says that. And the smile on Lizzie's face, let's just say it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at Liddy. Liddy looks at her. And then she's like, Connie turns around and she's like, you know, I think your parents can explain that in a decade or so. As she smiles. So then they distract the kids and they're like, now, who wants lemonade? And all the kids come over with Connie to get some lemonade. She's like, right this way. So she's serving up lemonade. She goes, and then we'll practice walking down the aisle. So we're going to keep the kids distracted. So Denny shows up. He's all dressed up in a nice suit. And he's like,
very handsome.
he looks great. He's got a matching tie to Lizzie, like a mustard color tie. And he's like, the just married car is done. What should I do next, boss? She's like, apparently you should marry me. And he looks at her like, And Connie turns around and goes, Lizzie, we need you. And Lizzie looks back at Denny, who looks mortified. And she's like, relax, I'm just kidding. I think he's like, what just happened? Like the look on his face.
He actually he took a breath there.
Yeah. All right, so Hope shows up. Now she's in a very nice looking green like pantsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this is all looking great. She goes, are you feeling good? oh, did Roland come? And Jack is like, this is all looking great. He goes, I am, and he did. And she's like, oh, I'm sad I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to Sugar. And Jack kind of has an interesting smile on his face. And he's like, actually, you won't have to. Sugar is not going anywhere. And it's funny because Mike and Preacher are kind of looking at each other like, told you. We knew he wasn't going to let go of that horse. And Hope is like, what? He goes, this is his home as much as it is ours. She gives Jack a big hug. She's like, oh, Jack. She goes, can we put him in the wedding? And he's like, absolutely not. He's tied up behind the barn for the evening. She's like, okay, probably for the best.
It kills me sometimes.
I know. She doesn't think. She has a good heart, but she doesn't think.
Oh my God, he just gave her an inch and she went for a mile.
Always. And she's like, oh, I bet Roland was so upset he had to drive all the way out here for nothing, like gloating. She's like, did he grumble about the gas money? He always grumbled about gas money. And Jack's like, yeah, he did. He told me he spent $100 on diesel to go home empty-handed. He goes, well, I may have made a new enemy. And Hope's like, well, you're in good company. And she's like, what made you decide to keep Sugar? And he's like, honestly, I have no idea. Mike's like, I do. Classic Jack Sheridan. No man left behind. And Preacher's shaking his head like, yeah. And Mike's like, yep, apparently that also applies to horses. Everybody laughs. He goes, oh, come on. Preacher's like, nope, no, it's true. And Preacher's like, I mean, look, I know you've struggled with what happened over there. But what you think is a liability, that urge you have to believe in all of us and take care of us all, it's your greatest asset, brother. That's why we love you. Mel included. Aw, he needed to hear that. He goes, thanks, Preach. Speaking of Mel, we better go get dressed for this wedding, so I'll see you later. So Mike's like, nicely put. He's like, I hope your best man speech can top that. And he's like, yeah, so do I, Mike, so do I. He's such a quiet guy. He doesn't seem like he'd be very comfortable doing a best man speech. So it looks like people are gathering. They've got people sitting down. Now, remember at the what was it? It was a picnic. Remember they had it was a Labor Day picnic, and that's when Mel and Jack, it was the night after they got together, or the day after they got together, and Charmaine had spilled the beans.
Yes, and that's when they won the race.
The egg race, and everybody found out that they slept together, and it was all over town, and everybody kept staring at Mel. There was a band playing at that event, and they've used the same band for that. So this band that's playing the music for, like, while everybody's getting ready, it's the same people, which is really nice that they bring them back. It's probably some local band. So everybody's dressed up and everybody's just chit-chatting. Everyone's talking to everybody. Oh, look, and we have some of the people that we have missed.
Yeah, Lily's family.
Yeah, Lily's daughter. So we have Tara, who, remember, she took custody of Chloe. So we have Chloe and Tara, and Ava's there. Oh, how nice. So, of course, everybody's happy to see them, and Hope is like, look who it is. And I know it's only been a few months. I mean, they had to obviously get a different kid, because this one, if they would have been in real time, I think Chloe would be in, like, first grade now. But
exactly.
Really, she's still a baby. So Hope greets them, so excited to see them. She goes, oh my goodness, how are you? And so she's hugging everyone. We have Jack's parents. She goes, oh my gosh, my girls, this is so exciting. So this is going to be two of Jack's sisters, the other two sisters. She goes, I just love that my kids are finally all in one place, and that we're here to enjoy it together. And Sam gives Amelia a kiss. It's like, wow. So Amelia and Sam find their two daughters, and she's like, oh, my girls, this is so exciting. She goes, I love that my kids are finally in one place again. She's like, and we're here to enjoy it together, my darling, as she looks at Sam. And Sam leans over to give her a kiss. And he's like, mm-hmm. Now, the younger sister, she's like, I bet, Donna, you'd work it out and end up back together. And Donna's like, now I owe Mary $50. And Emily's like, what? She goes, well, it was money well spent. I'm happy for you two. Goodness. She goes, and thank you for your support, Sam. Sam's funny. So we have Cameron and Muriel are showing up together, but sort of at the same time, not really together. And Muriel spots Walt, and she's like, come here for a second. Oh my gosh, hi. And she wants to introduce Cameron to Walt. She goes, Walt, this is Cameron. Cameron, this is Walt. They shake hands. It's nice to meet you, sir. Pleasure to meet you, Cameron. And there's Doc saying hi to everybody. And it looks like Lydia's trying to keep the kids with lemonade, but trying to keep them away from the cookies. That's going to be tough.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's just mingling. So Doc and Hope, they remember their last conversation was pretty heated. So Hope's like, hello, Vernon. Is there anything you'd like to say to me?
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, yeah, I think I'll have some lemonade. And he walks right on by. Woohoo! Yeah, she doesn't look too happy. It's a good-sized crowd. Now, we have all the girls that are showing up with Mel. Breeze must be carrying her dress. And there's a chainsaw in the background. What is that about? So we've got Joey and Kaya and Mel and Bree. And Mel gets out of the car. She walks around the car and she's looking at this spectacle. And it's the guy who's got giant blocks of ice and he's carving them. And
aren't they supposed to be done before the guests get there?
Well, it's still pre-wedding. She's not even dressed yet. And if you do them too early, they'll melt.
Well, yes, I know that, but that's why you put the there's like a plate they put under the ice that generates cold. So
maybe he's a really fast carver because he's got that saw going, and they're all looking at him, and he's just, I mean, he's shooting ice everywhere. And Bree's like, this reception is gonna be. Mel's like, it's a lot. It's bigger than I imagined. And Joey's like, I didn't expect you'd have this many ice sculptures at your wedding because it looks like there's 5 or 6 of them. And Kaya's like, I didn't expect you'd have any ice sculptures. And Mel's like, well, Hope insisted. And the chainsaw just keeps, every time he hits the ice with it, it's like they all jump. And of course, the videographer is hot on their heels, so he's capturing all of this. And they have to shout over the guy who's with the chainsaw. And Mel's like, the local artisan offered to donate them, so how could we say no? I mean,
simply say no.
Yeah. And they can't even have a conversation. They literally have to shout. And they're like, well, it's going to be beautiful. And so Joey's like, you're going to be beautiful in this dress, so let's get you in it. Come on. So they need to get out of there. It's like at this point they're covering their ears and they're all like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Let's just get away. Quick, move fast. They even have a photo booth. It's everything. So it looks like they're getting ready in the house. The house must be ready enough that they're using it to get ready. Now, Mel is in a white, like a tracksuit, I guess. Like a, I don't know, I guess you'd call that like a jogging suit. And all the girls are dressed, and Bree has poured some champagne. She goes, I'd like to propose a toast. Oh, we have the videographer. This is the videographer's view, and he keeps shaking the camera because you can see that it's his view. And Bree is like, to sisters old and new, to some things borrowed and some things blue. And she goes, I'm so happy my brother's marrying you. And Mel starts laughing. And that I was able to make that rhyme. Kaya's like, hey. They all start laughing. She goes, really? Oh, and this is so sweet because the two of them, Zibby Allen and Alex
And
Breckenridge,
Alex,
are actually best friends, and they do feel like sisters.
yeah,
And that's one thing that I actually said. The universe made them friends, and TV made them sisters. So
good, good, good.
when they're both tearing up in this scene because of how much they care about each other, it's real. Like I know that most of them when they cry it is real tears. They're not faking their crying, especially Alex Breckenridge. She's like, every time you see me cry, I'm actually crying. I have to get in that emotional space to make me cry. But like
Uh,
this is real. So Bree is gonna say something, and she's just getting very emotional, and Mel's like, oh, because she's getting ready to like tear up, and she's like, thank you for loving my brother. She goes, more than anyone reasonably should. She goes, I love you. She's like, I love you too. So they all do the little cheers, and so the videographer's there, and Bree's like, and we gotta go, and that means you too, Paul. And Paul's like, okay, great, great. So all the girls are going to leave it there. And Paul is like, now remember, just act natural. So he's getting ready to leave. Joey's going to stay behind for a minute. Oh my gosh, they're just laughing that he's even there. And Joey's like, and then there were two. She's like, yep, as long as I can remember. And they hold hands. So they brought the Airstream and they parked it next to the house. And that's what Jack is using to get ready in. So he has his own space. So Preacher was inside with Jack. He comes out and he sees Kaya and he's like, oh, look at you. And she does a little like spin. He's like, you clean up nice, Chief. Because remember, she is the chief of police. I mean, sorry, she is the fire chief. He goes, oh, yeah, you look pretty good too. He goes, thank you. He goes, how's your speech coming along? And he takes a deep breath. He goes, yeah, it's good. It was running about 20 minutes long. So and she looks at him like, oh, he goes, I cut out the origin story and, Jack and my friendship. And that part wasn't important. She goes, yeah, good idea. Gotta make them laugh, make them cry, and let them eat cake. He goes, yeah, so I drilled down on my theme. What do you think of this? And so he gets his cards because he's got cue cards. And she's going to listen very attentively. And he's like, hold on. He looks really good too in his nice suit.
Honey, he looks, oh,
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to say.
So he so he starts off, he's like, marriage. And she's like, great start. Like, it takes grit, passion, and unwavering commitment to grow together, not apart. Marriage is not for the faint of heart. And you two have proven time and again that your love, and she starts like taking deep breaths, like she's uncomfortable. He's like, you're not buying it? Is it that bad? And she's like, no, it's just save it for the reception, okay? Wow, you look great. And she's gonna leave. So now he's like, oh my god, is it bad? Did I suck? Like, do I need to redo it? Like now he's all nervous. So the videographer is going around and he's taking like little video messages from everybody. So he's got Ava and Tara and little baby Chloe. And their message is, we love you, Mel and Jack. Happy wedding day. Blowing kisses. Happy wedding day. It says you want to point to Mel and Jack. Happy wedding day. And they're having the baby wave. How cute. And then one of Jack's guys from his platoon, from the Marines, he's like, you did it, man. Congratulations. And the other guy's like, yes, he did. He goes, hey, they didn't do it yet. He goes, they didn't do it yet. And the guy's like, yeah, I know, but they're gonna. So they're gonna see this after the wedding. And then the other guy is like, oh, yeah, whatever, you idiots. Like, he goes, just say congratulations. And the guys are like, congratulations. He's like, I already said congratulations. He goes, say it again, man. He goes, what? Congrats. So
They're a
we have
bloody mess.
Hannah. We have Hannah. We love Hannah. She's
Um,
like, best wedding ever, best couple ever, as she holds up her drink. She goes, I'm obsessed with you both. Live long and prosper. Like a Vulcan from Star Trek. Oh my gosh. So the band's just playing some nice music. Lizzie's checking her list. And Bree goes over to where Mike is talking to her sisters, and she's like, oh my gosh, you made it. Hi. And she goes, we did. No small feat. She goes, you and Jack definitely chose to live off the beaten path.
hmm.
So pretty, though. She goes, I see you've met Mike. So Mike and her kind of holding each other. She goes, we have, and for such a small town, you seem to have no trouble finding shockingly attractive men to date. And they're like, oh, try not. And the sister's like, try not to mess this one up. Mike's like, she didn't mess the last one up. Yeah, that was all, and then we see Brady walking up
Mm.
hand in hand with Lark on one side of him and Hazel on the other. Oof. And this
Oh
is.
boy.
So Lizzie's like, attention, everyone. If everyone just start taking their seats, ceremony will begin in a few minutes. So Jack's getting ready. He's got his suit. And Preacher walks in and he's like, you ready, brother? You got word that it's time to head up? And Jack takes a deep breath. And Preacher's like, are you okay? He goes, is your suit too tight? He's like, no. He's like, nah. I've been thinking about what you and Mike said about the guy that Mel is marrying. He goes, you up for a little mission? Preacher gives him a nice smile. Like, yeah. So Brady and Lark and Hazel sitting between them, are sitting there, and I guess Hazel's getting a little impatient. And Lark is like, it won't be much longer. The ceremony's about to start. And so Brady's like, what do you say I go get you some lemonade, okay? And he's like, yeah, I'll be right back. So he's going to go get her lemonade. And Hazel. So just at the same time that Brady is going up to get lemonade, he runs into Bree, who also was getting some lemonade. And he's like, hey. And she's like, can I talk to you for a sec? And he looks back at where Hazel is and Lark, and he kind of like, and Lark is noticing that the two of them are talking. And they're walking off together to talk. Uh-oh. She is watching them very closely and does not look very happy about it. So
Mm-hmm.
Brady and Bree kind of sneak off to sort of like a little side area behind some like little dividers with some foliage on it, because they're going to have a little private conversation. And he's like, what's up? And she's like, what's up is you brought a con woman to my brother's wedding? And Brady's like, she's not a con woman. She's a woman who was committing a con. Like, isn't that the same thing?
Apparently not in Brady's mind.
And Bree is like, oh, well, that is a very subtle distinction, Brady. And he's like, she made a mistake, okay? She owned up to it, and I forgave her. Okay? And Bree is like shocked. Like the look on her face is like, what? And he's like, we've moved on. Why do you care so much? She's just flabbergasted. She's like, I care because I care about you and you deserve better. He's like, better than what? Lark's a good person who did what she thought she had to do to take care of someone she loved. And Bree's kind of shaking her head, kind of laughing, like, really? Like, are you kidding me with this? He goes, maybe you don't understand that, but I do. And Bree's like, wow. Okay. And he's like, look. And he kind of stops her because she's going to walk away. And he's like, I didn't say that to hurt you, okay? I didn't. He goes, just me being with Lark it's not about you, okay? It's about me trying to get a fresh start, trying to move on like you did with Mike. So why can't you just let me be? And she's like, I can. She goes, she's like, I, I just want more for you. I want you to be with a woman who at least matches you,
Huh.
who challenges you, who brings out the best in you. And he's like, I was. Ooh.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, stops her dead in her tracks. He goes, but she didn't want
Mm.
me. And she's like, yes, she did. And she just doesn't know what to say. And she's like, being with you made me forget what I had been through. But it always was such a mess, Brady. Like, she's going to cry. Oh, yeah, she's tearing up. She's like, I got lost in you, you know?
She did.
I was running away. He goes, yeah, maybe, maybe. Or maybe you fell in love with me. She goes, obviously I did. He like doesn't even know what to say. He goes, do you still love me? She can't even look at him. She wipes her tear and she goes, a part of me will. And he's like, don't do that. Don't bullshit me. And he takes a deep breath, looks her straight in the face. Either you do or you don't. Which is it? She's like, I'm with
Mm.
Mike. And I'm with Lark. Do you love me? She's got tears. She goes, do you still love me? He's like, yes, God. Yes. I've loved you since the moment I met you. I knew it the first 10 seconds that you were the one for me. That was never the question. The question was whether or not I was the one for you. Oh. She goes, you were, but you messed it up. He goes, I did what I had to do. She's like, you lied. He's like, to protect you. And tears are coming now.
There's no happy ending here.
No,
You know this, right?
no. He's like, and I'm not going to apologize for that because if I had to do it all over again, if I had to lose you just to keep you safe, I would do it in a heartbeat. He goes, Bree, I'd do anything for you. Anything at all. And you know what? It's goddamn terrifying. It's very intense conversation. He goes, because I
Mm-hmm.
know I will never feel that way about someone else ever again.
Oh.
No one. She can barely look at him. And he just like backs up and walks away. But as he's walking away, guess who is hiding
Uh-huh.
behind one of the separators?
Mm-hmm.
Lark is listening to all of this and crying because she just heard Brady pour his heart out that he still loves Bree. He's always loved Bree. He will always love Bree, and no one is ever going to be Bree. And he's
Mm-hmm.
basically just with Lark because he's not with Bree. So
Hmm.
she must be feeling real good about herself right now.
Tell me about it.
Mm.
But but a woman's scorn is a dangerous.
Oh, it's very dangerous. So we've got Kaya, who is passing out a little program while everyone is seated and waiting for the wedding to start. The band is playing, everything is set up. Mel's getting ready, Joey's helping her. And Joey's like, I can't believe you're getting married. She's like, again. She goes, yeah, that makes two of us. And Joey's like, I mean, it's not that I didn't love Mark, because I did. She goes, I know. She goes, but this feels different. And Mel shakes her head. She goes, yeah, it is. It is different. She's like, yeah. She goes, it's, And Mel's like, it's still kind of surreal, though. She goes, well, truly, this day is everything I could have ever wished for you. Mel's just shaking her head. She's looking like something is not right.
Right. Yeah. Something's bothering her.
Oh, her wheels are turning in her head way too much right now.
Sometimes she overthinks things way too much.
Always, always. Like she seems so apprehensive. And Joey notices. She's like, "Hey, what's happening?" And Mel's like, "I don't know." And Joey's like, "What can I do? How can I help?" And Mel takes a deep breath and she's like, "Hey." She goes, "I need you to do me a favor." So, Joey runs out to where the Airstream is. She knocks on the door and it's Jack. And he's like, "Hey." He goes, "Your bride would like to see you." And he's like, "Uh-oh." And Mel, gosh, she looks beautiful. She's standing
She
in
does.
the double door open doorway with the wind blowing. She's got her veil on and her dress. She's ready to go. It's all spread out. Everything looks beautiful. And Jack walks in, peeks around the corner, and sees her standing there in this unbelievably gorgeous dress.
I know, it's gorgeous.
And she turns around, and he's like, stops dead in his tracks, looks her up and down, and is speechless. He's like, hi. And he's like, hey, yourself. But something's not right. He's like, wow. He's like, I'm really glad we did this, because if I had gotten my first look at you at the altar, I don't think I'd remember my vows. And she kind of chuckles. She's like, it's just a dress. And he goes, it's not the dress. And he walks up and he touches her shoulder. And he looks at her like, how are you feeling? And she's like, I feel like the luckiest girl in the world who is a million miles away. And she's got tears in her eyes. And he's like, okay. She goes, at first, I thought this was about my dad. But I think it might be about trusting in forever again. Trusting that the people I love aren't just going to disappear on me. See, this is what I was afraid of. Because every single person she's ever been close to has either left or died. Most of them have died. All of her babies, her ex-husband, her parents.
Yeah, the track record is awful.
Yeah, I mean, the only person that's ever stuck around is Joey. That's it. Like, she has been basically alone except for her sister her whole life. And it's just hard for her to believe that that's just not going to keep happening. It's like, they say that, if you want to predict the future, look at past events, and it's not looking good. And she's like, I can't lose you, Jack. She goes, but I can't walk down the aisle with all these ghosts floating around in my head. And he shakes his head, yes. Like, I get it. I hear you. I understand. He's like, okay. And he's like, then let's get out of here. And she looks at him like, what? With a little smile. He's like, come on. And her smile gets a little bigger. And he has a smile. He's like, let's go. He always knows what she needs. Now, everybody's standing around. They're getting ready. We've got Hope's talking to his parents, and Joey's with her kids, and Mike is there with Doc, and
basically the whole damn tongue is there.
Yeah, but these are like the main people. Everybody else is seated, but these few people are kind of like huddled in the back.
Yeah.
And Mike sees Bree, and he's like, hey, how's it going? She goes, yeah, I'm good. She's like, you okay? He goes, yep, it was just a thing. So now we see Lizzie, and Lizzie's not looking happy. And Hope's like, Lizzie, there you are. I didn't get a chance to tell you. What a great job you did today. And Lizzie's looking stressed. She's like, no, don't thank us yet. Preacher is missing, and I can't find Mel. And Hope's looking very nervous. She goes, what do you mean? And she goes, I mean the traditional meaning of those words used together in a sentence. I love that. And then here comes Denny, and he's pushing through the crowd. And he goes right up to Hope and Lizzie, and he's like, and they're like, hey, guys, I can't find Jack. And Hope's like, what? Where the heck could they be? Now, this crowd that's standing in the back, where everyone else is mostly seated and whatever, got Mike and Bree and Doc and Hope and Denny and Kaya, and they're all crowded together, separate from everybody else. So only they know that the bride and the groom and preacher are missing. Oh my. And in the background, which no one can see, you can see Mel and Jack on the back of Sugar riding off. They have taken the horse, and you can see them literally riding away. He's driving, and she's on the back with her dress flowing behind them, and they are riding the horse down the long road away from the wedding.
Basically, a scene
Runaway Bride.
Exactly.
It's totally Runaway Bride. But it's Runaway Bride and Groom.
That's true.
And that's it. Mm-hmm. So they really did push it to the very last episode for the wedding. Oh,
yes,
my.
They did.
Oh, my goodness. So that's it. Now we have all that's left. All that's left is the wedding. But we've got to get them back to the wedding. So now they've escaped because she needed a minute. And Jack always knows how to give her exactly what she needs. And so I'm sure that he will find a way to calm her down and get her
Get
to a
them back to
place.
the wedding.
Get them back
Hmm.
to the wedding. But oh, it's a fun ride. Let me tell you. It's going to
Isn't
be
it
great.
always?
It's going to be great. I mean, we waited so long for this, and it's just her dress is absolutely beautiful. The
Oh,
sewing circle did a
yep,
phenomenal job.
exactly.
Phenomenal job. It's a beautiful dress. So, and it turned out from when they did some interviews and I read some stuff, apparently it took them, they said, you know how people just love their wedding gown and it's so much fun and they just feel like they want to stay in it all day and, they're so excited. She said, yeah, she's kind of over that because the filming of the wedding, she was in that dress, she said, for 8 days. 8 solid days she wore that dress. So she
You
said she's definitely gotten it out of her system. She's good.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to wear a wedding dress ever
Well,
again.
I think weddings, funerals, any gathering with lots of people takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of angles. Basically, is why it takes so long.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're dealing with one camera, that's different. But when you're dealing with cameras from all different angles,
Well, you figure because we've had her with the wedding dress on, which is the first time she had it on was him seeing her. To now we've got whatever this is with them riding off into wherever to deal with whatever. That's going to take some time. Then when they
mm,
finally, we know they get married. So when they finally make it back to the wedding, then we've got that. Then we've got the whole reception. And then we've got the after the wedding. So, I mean, that's like a full day in Virgin River time. But that could take, like they said, she was in the dress for 8 days.
yeah,
So that's a lot. But
it
yep,
is.
it's beautiful. Can't wait. We're almost there. We've got some surprises and it's going to be beautiful. Oh, get your tissues out. It's a beautiful moment. Oh, what a way to end a season. And I mean, they do
Um,
they do go through to the day after the wedding, the morning after the wedding. And that's where the season ends. So it's 3 when I said it was 3 weeks from the invitation, it was May 5th. So it was like mid-April, little like about 2 weeks into April, and all the way until May 6th. So when we start the next season, it's going to be like the same day, the day after the wedding, just a few hours later. So it's 3 weeks. So the whole some seasons take about in Virgin River time, it's like a month or two. But this one, we actually pinned it down exactly to 3 weeks and a day. There you go. There you have it.
okay, folks.
Beautiful. One more episode, Gigi. One more. I can't believe it.
I I know, I know.
Oh my gosh. All right. So until next time, thank you again, everyone, for listening. We're just
Au revoir,
we're here
folks.
until we're not. We're here until we run out of things to talk about. All right. Thank you so much. Till
Au
next
revoir.
time. Bye bye.